Episode 3. So we've got it assembled. I'm just showing you, this is what I had in mind originally. A couple of 18650s sitting on the top there. One battery for the right hand side and one battery for the left hand side. So they would plug into the ESCs and would have separate battery for each side. But as I mentioned in episode 2, what I plan to do now is make use of some of those vape batteries. Now they're pretty small. They would run this, but I think it'd be better if I put 2 or 3 of them in parallel to give them a higher capacity. I think are they 500 milliamp? I'll have a look. Oh, before we look at the vape batteries, little cable ties. I'm going to go around there just to hold it in place. The idea of having these hanging in the breeze out here is literally that, to have them hanging in the breeze and help them keep them cool. So do that on both sides. If I did a version 3 of this, I'd put a few posts up in here, or like a cage, to hold the wires out the way, stop them getting near the near the legs. But I can use cable ties anyway, that'll tidy that up. But we'll have a look at the vape batteries now. Plenty of different sizes. Yeah, these are the ones I seem to have plenty of. They are 13400. Can you see that? Yeah, 13400. That means 13mm diameter, 40mm long, and the O at the end means it's a cylindrical battery. These are 550 milliamp hour, which actually is probably more than enough to run them. I could just put 2 of them on there. But I think, because I've got plenty of these vape batteries, I'll either double them up in parallel to double the capacity, or maybe even make a triple cell. So triple cell, but not a 3S, because they'll be in parallel. But I could do, 2 3s of them either side, and that'll give us plenty of power. But in parallel, so we're only giving this about 3 or 4 volts. Originally, these were designed to run on a single AA battery, so they're only expecting 1.5 volts. So one of these is already more than doubling what it's expecting. So we don't need a 2S or a 3S. So that's what I'll do. See if we can link a few of these together, make a couple of 3-cell 1S batteries. Right, got a few here. What I'm just going to do is have a look, see what charge is in them. This is just freshly recovered from the vapes, so they're probably relatively flat. But it'll give me if they're completely dead, then I know it's not worth trying to use them. There. 3.58. That's not too bad. .58, 5.9. This one looks a little bit crushed. Oh, 3.7. That one looks a little bit flatter, doesn't it? I don't know, that may just be a bad contact. Yeah, that one's a bit low. That one looks particularly low. Yeah, that's a low one. Hmm, 2.9, that's pretty low. That's a 13,350. 13,350. That's a 13,400. Just measuring the voltage isn't giving us an accurate picture of their capacity, but it is giving me an idea of whether they're worth starting with. That's a 13,350. That's a very rough looking 13,400. .2, reasonably possibly okay. That's a 13,400. That looks like one that I've been looking at before. Oh, I think that's one I've charged. So that one's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so those are the ones I'm going to use. These ones can go back in the stock and I can look at maybe charging them some other time. Right, so what I'm going to do is parallel them together. Put a bit of tape around them, join all their terminals together and then put a JST connector on there to connect onto my ESCs. And then they will be able to sit on top of there like that. Right, that's the first one just assembled as a threesome. So we should have 3 point something on there. 3.79. So I'll put a proper connector on there and then put it on charge. But that's what I had in mind. So a pair of them, and that should run the Spiderbot. That's a finished battery, and it will work. If I want it to. But I've just had a thought. I've got plenty of these charger modules that also have the protection circuit on them, the over discharge and overcharge protection, and they will actually fit straight on top of there, well, that way round. So I could make this a USB rechargeable battery just by putting that on top, cutting that wire, diverting it into the battery terminals there and the out terminals there, and that'd be a handy little battery that I could use for other purposes. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll cut those wires, divert them in there, take that straight on top, and that will actually sit on there nicely. There we are. That should make a few people happier for me to actually have voltage protection on there, or over discharge and overcharge protection. That's what that end of that circuit board does. This end is the charging bit, that end's the protection. So if we stick that in there, 4.027, 79% charged. And then if I plug in a USB supply, stick that in there, red light on, and if we leave that for a while, hopefully that'll be the blue light eventually. That circuit board I haven't modified, so that one would be charging at 1 amp, or at least a maximum of 1 amp. Each individual cell there only wants, what was it, 550 or something, or 300, I don't remember now. But being as we've got 3 of them parallel together, I reckon a 1 amp supply should be okay. We'll find out if we get the magic smoke. That's the second one done. I don't think I mentioned, to join them together, I've just used a bent paper clip and soldered it to each of the terminals. It was just a convenient bit of wire that takes solder easily. And I covered it all with Captain tape, which is that yellow stuff. Let's see what this one says. .056, 83%. Okay, well I'll put that one on charge as well. Well, that's one blue one. Let's have a look, see what the capacity controller thinks of it. 4.199, 99%. So that looks good. The other one's still red at the moment, so we'll check that when it's ready. Right, got the blue light on the second one. So we'll put the Spiderbot together and give it a run. So we've got our 2 vape battery packs. Power on, power on. Okay, so Spiderbot lives again. Now I did get the feeling that one side wasn't pulling its weight, so we'll just have a look and see what we've got. That's still 4.167. Okay, so it may be an incompatibility on the ESCs. To be fair, I think those ESCs are expecting a 2S, so running them on a 1S might be underpowering them a bit. But it works. Not sure whether it looks better than it did before or not. But it's easier to put together with those 3D printed bits. So I'm going to call that a success. And we use the vape batteries for something useful. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.